YBH.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. I want to welcome you to today's live stream. I apologize. My dogs are barking in the back, so you might hear them at some point in time while we're doing this. Today, we're going to be talking about the Portland security guard shooting. I'm going to do a body cam reaction. I think that probably the easiest thing to do first is bring in the video. If you guys follow this page, you know that I was interviewed by local news last night. Giving my perspective on it. So I'm going to bring in that video and let you guys see it just because it'll bring you up to speed on the situation. This shooting happened in May. The DA just came out, I think 2 days ago, and said that he will not be pressing charges on the security guard that was involved. I will be breaking down the actual body cam footage, but I'm going to bring in the K2 news story from last night just to get everybody caught up, and then we'll go from there. So stand by. Here we go.
Developing tonight, a sister of a man shot and killed by a preschool security guard says her brother did not have to die.
Multnomah County District Attorney ruled that shooting justified. K2 Shelby Slaughter joins us live from Southwest Portland with a story. And Shelby, DA's office says the guard acted in self-defense in this case.
Yeah, Stephen, the DA's office also released a memo saying the security guard feared for his life.
What's your problem? Help you guys! What's your problem? What's your problem?
The moment an altercation outside a preschool turned deadly. That happened in May. This week, the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office ruling the fatal shooting of 32-year-old Manuel Garza was justified. Newly obtained body camera video shows the moment he was confronted by Salisbury. Damian Bunting is a security officer himself. He has no affiliation with this incident or company.
Well, let me ask you, what do you think should have happened in a situation leading up to the neck grabbing?
My personal opinion, I would not have gone over there. If I was concerned that this person was potentially a threat to either the school, the children, or to the property that I'm working on, I would just call 911.
Bunting is referring to this moment when Salisbury leaves the property of the preschool he was contracted to guard and confronts Garza at the clinic next door where he parked.
You have to make this approach in a de-escalatory stance and position. Your conversation, your articulation, the way that you're talking to this person.
In a memo from the DA's office about why they are choosing not to charge Salisbury, it says he acted in self-defense, saying, quote, during the attack, Garza maintained a dominant physical position over Salisbury as he strangled Salisbury and pinned Salisbury to the ground on his back. Salisbury told Garza he would use deadly force if Garza did not stop. Garza's sister, Melissa, tells me the body cam video is hard to watch.
The toughest part, obviously, is to see him in that type of stress. But at that point, I feel very strongly that any point you felt anybody's a threat, especially at a preschool, why not call law enforcement?
The unfortunate reality of working in Portland is that sometimes you have to make the best choice for the person that's doing the wrong thing. And I think that as the professional, sometimes it's incumbent on you to do the right thing for the person that's doing the wrong thing.
And it's not clear if Salisbury was also contracted to guard the clinic next door. I did speak on the phone with the district attorney's spokesperson. They declined to comment further.
All right, so I'm going to pause this right here because I think this is important. So where the newscaster is standing, this is what separates the two properties. Okay, so you've got this kind of roundabout. I'm not sure if you guys can see the cursor that I'm moving around on the screen. Maybe you can't, but if you look directly behind the newscaster, you have a road that splits to the left. You have a road that splits to the right. The property that the security guard was working on is a Jewish preschool. Now, clearly, the Jewish preschool, like many other synagogues and things like that, are continually under threat, under duress. So they have security that's there. But their job, in my my limited knowledge of what's going on. So before I say anything else, let me just say this. I'm talking about this today, and I was talking about this yesterday on the news, not having 100% context of what happened. I wasn't there, right? So everything that I'm talking about today, I'm giving my opinion. I don't want to paint the security guard in a bad light. I don't want to put anything out there as though I'm throwing this guy under the bus, because I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of it. And any one of us who are working in private security could find ourselves in the same situation. But there are some kind of, undeniable truths that we can talk about. So the road that splits to the left, the road that splits to the right, both properties are kind of separated by this embankment where you see the trees. And so that's going to come into play when we watch the body cam footage and I give my opinion of what happened here. Let me pull this down, and then I'm going to share my screen with you guys right here. Stand by. And we're going to watch the raw body cam footage. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll play the full body cam footage first. And then after that, we'll kind of talk about what my thoughts are on the situation. So I'm going to come over here and we'll make this bigger. And we're going to start the full body cam footage right here. Here we go. Again, I apologize for my dogs.
Bravo Hotel, Yankee 01. Bravo Hotel. What's your problem? Help you guys? What's your problem? What's your problem? Problem, guys? What's your problem? What are you doing? What are you doing? Excuse me? Show me that. Show me. Show me. You want away. Show me. You power. What the you gonna do? What the you gonna do? Do some. Do some bitch. What the fuck you gonna do? What's wrong with you, guy? What's wrong with you? You ain't got. What the you do? What the you do? You
At Coin City, we monitor traffic conditions for you.
1 second. Just 1 second. Hang on. Let me stop sharing that. So take that off. And I'm going to go full screen. Stand by. Okay. So in the video, what we're seeing is, and there's another slightly longer video that I don't have access to that shows the victim. We'll just say the victim, right? He aggressively drives past the school and allegedly runs into the security guard. So the security guard, allegedly, from his perspective, is thinking that this person could potentially have, run over the children, could potentially be some sort of threat. And so he feels the need to go over to the next property and get this person's license plate. Apparently, that's what he's saying. Now, the problem is that if you're just going over to get this person's license plate, number one, I don't know if this person is contracted to work on the parking lot of the adjacent property. I'm going to assume that he's not. So right there, you've already left your property. You've gone over to another property. If we're going to just give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he wanted to get the license plate number, as he starts to get the license plate number and the guy gets out of the car, there's no effort to de-escalate that situation, right? He immediately asks the guy, like, what the F are you doing? And in kind, the other person responds the same way. So you've got the security guard who's escalating the situation. You've got clearly the victim or the involved party who has done whatever he's done to get the attention of the security guard. And both of them at that moment are now walking towards each other and both are being aggressive, right? Neither person is trying to de-escalate. And in my opinion, the responsibility of taking that stance of being de-escalatory is on the security guard, because again, you're not really even on your property. You see in the video, right as the security guard gets up there, he reaches out and he starts to choke the subject. And so in response, a fight breaks out. And my stance is that why wouldn't it? You know what I mean? If both of these people are thinking that they're in the right, or both of these people are upset, or both of these people are slightly unhinged, if you grab the person that you're walking towards by the neck, why wouldn't a fight ensue? Now, I have always been under the impression that you cannot claim self-defense if you're in a situation where you have created the circumstances where you're having to defend yourself. Now, you could say that the involved person or the victim created the situation by driving too fast. Okay. But driving too fast and closely driving past somebody, potentially almost hitting someone, that's not something that a security guard can enforce. So, my stance on it is that, the security guard is putting himself in a situation where he's creating this problem that now he's having to respond to. My second problem with this is that your inability to fight, in my opinion, does not give you the leniency to utilize deadly force. Let me say this again. Your inability to fight, when the security guard finds himself on his back, he's actually choking from his back or attempting to choke or strangle. He's got his hands around the neck of the subject. Your inability to get this person off of you, in my opinion, does not put you in a position to be able to claim self-defense and then utilize deadly force. Base level grappling skills. This is why I've said this so much on this channel. It's why I continue to preach it. Base level jiu-jitsu, base level grappling skills would have put this security guard in a much better position to be able to defend himself and get out of this position. And I can't for the life of me see any situation short of that person slamming the security guard's head on the ground. The security guard, I believe, is saying that the subject, the potential victim, was actually choking him. You can't see that on the camera, but you see the security guard choking the involved person, the subject. He's saying that he was also being choked, and that posed a deadly threat, which led to him placing his firearm on his stomach and shooting him. I want to play that video one more time if I can, just so that we can see everything that kind of happens in this moment, and I'll break down what I'm thinking as I'm watching it. Let me pull it back up here. I'm trying to fight the ads that are coming up on this because it's on a page here. So stand by. Share the screen here. I'm trying to get through this ad if I can. Man, this is like so hard to navigate here. Stand by. Let me do this. Y'all bear with me 1 second here. I got to get through this ad. I don't want to get a strike. Bear with me 1 second. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share the screen. Stand by. Here we go. All right, let's play this.
Bravo Hotel, Yankee 01. Bravo Hotel. What's your problem?
All right, so right now he's going up to the guy, and the other dude is coming out of the car. He's aggressive. He's yelling. He's screaming. Let's see what the security guard does first.
What's your problem?
Now, you could argue that the guy is approaching him aggressively. He's got his hands balled up. I could articulate that this is a threat. But again, you didn't have to go over there, right? And then going for the throat, I don't think is the smartest idea. If you're going to go hands-on, get this guy to the ground and establish dominant position, but that's not what happens. In my opinion, this is mutual combat at this point. The security guard goes over there. He's got an attitude. The guy getting out of the car has an attitude. And now we're in mutual combat. So that alarm that you guys are hearing, some security companies have their guards wearing these like panic alarms that you can pull a little tab and it'll start to kind of make that siren noise. I think that's what we're hearing in the background. It's a security guard's panic alarm.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Excuse me? You show me that. Show Show me. Show me. You wait.
Now, it's possible that the security guard is being choked right here because you really don't hear him saying anything. He's not really talking. He's not articulating anything. He's not screaming. He's not giving any sort of commands. So it's quite possible that he's being choked here, but you don't really hear him struggling for breath either. That's why I'm kind of at a loss as to what's going on here.
Go in. What the you gonna do? What the you gonna do? Do some
And you can see the security guard here trying to choke the person here.
do some bitch. What the fuck you gonna do? What's wrong with you, guy? What's wrong with you? You ain't
He's trying to squeeze his trachea here. That's not doing anything.
got what the you do? What the you do?
And you're seeing the security guard now pull his firearm out, and he has time to actually articulate it on the guy's body before he pulls the trigger. So I want to give the security guard the benefit of the doubt. And again, any one of us could end up in this situation. So I don't want to, to overly be critical, but I can see so many opportunities here to bump and roll this guy, to trap the arm, trap the leg, get this guy off of you. And again, most of this could have been avoided. So let's see here. I think it's going to be all of the video there. I'll pull this back out. So, that's the video, and the district attorney has chosen to not prosecute. So what are some of the takeaways from this? And again, this is me giving you guys my opinion Monday morning quarterbacking this. Number one is that politics matter. I think that the biggest issue that we're seeing in this situation is that Portland, under the last district attorney, has been very criminal focused, right? The people that were causing the problems, the people that were committing the crime, the people that were generally responsible for the infractions, they've been coddled by our system here in Oregon. We have a new district attorney. I think that he was given a mandate that people didn't want to see that anymore. And so I wonder if some of that political pressure, that need to kind of live up to being different than the last DA, if that kind of colored his perception. That's just me asking that question. But I will say that as much as I talk about politics and how much it matters in the area that you live in, those winds of change can blow either direction. So it's possible that the desire for there to be a different political approach here in Portland plays into the fact that this person is not being prosecuted. The second thing is that it's very important for private security guards to understand that outliers are not the measure of truth. I've said many, many times that you should follow your post orders. You should stick to the standard operating procedures. You should not leave your property. You should try to de-escalate situations. You should not get into physical altercations. All of that gets turned on its head when someone literally violates all of those statutes, policies, thought processes behind being in private security, and someone loses their life and then they're not charged. It makes the average person, the new security guard, the uneducated, untrained security guard, it's easy for them to see a situation like this and think, oh, okay, well then shit, I can do the same thing. And I want to caution you that you can't. This is one specific situation. It's one specific set of circumstances, and maybe there's something that's underlying or happened that I'm not aware of that has led the district attorney to not pressing charges against that security guard. I want to caution younger, newer, less trained security guards to not think that this is the way that every one of these cases is going to go. It's a crapshoot. And I really think that if you follow the best practices, if you do what's morally, ethically, and legally right, generally you're going to be on the right side of these situations. I would hate to see anybody see this and think that they could do the exact same thing and have the exact same results. I don't think you will. Number 3, or the next thing, would be that lack of charges does not mean lack of liability. This is going to lead to a lawsuit. There's going to be a huge lawsuit against the company. There's going to be a huge lawsuit against the security guard. There's no qualified immunity in private security. And you best believe that he will be named in this lawsuit. The school, more than likely, where he was working, will be named. This situation is far from over. So it's important, again, for private security guards to understand that just because you're not being prosecuted criminally does not mean that you're free from the liability of your actions. And I think that this guard is going to suffer some huge repercussions in terms of being sued by the family of this person that was involved in this. Another question that I have is, what will this mean for the industry? Private security is already in the crosshairs here in Portland. It's already in the crosshairs across the country. We have so many people in terms of leadership and the legislative side of things here in Portland that are anti-gun. And once again, this is a situation where someone has died at the hands of a firearm. And I can see this becoming a political conversation. I think that the temperature on this situation has been heavily leaning towards the private security guard, which I'm kind of surprised of. But that being said, that could change. And as more information comes out, once the lawsuits start to come down, and very easily this could become a political football to kind of upset the industry of private security, and it could be used against private security guards having access to firearms. So there's a lot of things that could happen and come from this that we maybe aren't aware of or thinking about. And again, this goes to the private security guards in general. I always tell you guys, as much as it's important for you to think about what you're doing and how it's going to affect you, you have to also think about your company. But more importantly, most people are never thinking about how their actions are going to affect the private security industry. And I think that more of us need to do that, because this situation is more than likely going to play out in a way that it's going to have some sort of effect on private security, whether that's private security being able to utilize their firearms, private security being able to work in certain locations. I can just see this being an issue where it can potentially be a problem. So I'm interested to know what you guys think. I would love to hear your opinion on this. Do you think the private security guard was in the right? Do you think that he, made the right choice by going over there and putting himself in this circumstance and situation? Do you side with the security guard, or do you think that he was out of line? Regardless of what we think, he's not being charged. So I guess, congratulations to him, but I would love to know what you guys think about this in terms of how this is going to play out for private security, and if this was justified. You guys have seen the body camera footage. Please drop your comments down below. And as always, guys, I want to thank you for being a part of our platform, part of what we're doing here. And remember, like, share, subscribe, bring other people into the fold. All right, you guys, please be safe out there. Take care of yourself. I'll catch you on the next one. Be great.
Shot for the round and mid deploy, ayy. Ran up on my dog to catch a slow, ayy. What? Nigga. Old boy, friend, 4 for 1 to the project. Lying young and street, made the pussy, bring the black bitch. Standing in the kitchen, whipping nigga, catch a contact. Shot for the round and mid deploy, ayy. Ran up on my dog to catch a slow, ayy. Love my pistol, dog, and fit just like a blood. I ain't come up out the truck, they no fool me was selling drugs. Dope boy, friend, just like Juice Jane, 3 shit. Lying young.